there, very good evening and welcome to the news at 6, where we get you the day's top developing stories. Let's start with the headlines of this hour. Special court convicts former Jharkhand Chief Minister Madhu Koda in the coal scam case. Former Coal Secretary H.C. Gupta also held guilty along with former Jharkhand Chief Secretary A.K. Basu and officials of Vini Iron and Steel Udyog Limited. Prime Minister Narendra Modi praises the Dhan Yojna, lists out pro-poor initiatives of his government like free cooking gas connections to women and affordable housing schemes, calls NPAs a legacy problem left behind by the UPA. A day ahead of the Supreme Court hearing on the matter, Centre pushes back its 31st December deadline for linking Aadhaar to all financial services and instruments, says that it will announce the new dates later. And all set for the second phase of the Gujarat election tomorrow. 93 constituencies will be at stake in a region that includes northern, central and tribal areas of the state. And parliamentarians pay homage to martyrs of the 2001 parliament attack. After taking part in a heated electoral campaign in Gujarat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his predecessor Manmohan Singh greet each other on the occasion. Our top story this evening, a special court convicted former Jharkhand Chief Minister Madhu Koda in a coal scam case today. Special CBI judge Parashar held Koda and former Coal Secretary H.C. Gupta guilty of corruption and other charges. The other accused include former Jharkhand Chief Secretary A.K. Basu and private company Vini Iron and Steel Udyog Limited. They were found guilty of varying offences, including criminal conspiracy in the case pertaining to irregularities in allocation of the Rajhara North Coal Block in Jharkhand to Kolkata base VISUL. The argument on the quantum of punishment will be heard in the court on Thursday. All the accused have refuted the allegations levelled against them.
उस समय बड़ी बेतरतीब काम हुए और आगे आने वाली सभी सरकारों को इससे सबक लेना चाहिए, जो अपने किसी पद पर हैं और पद के प्रभाव का उपयोग करके जो भी उल्टा सीधा करते रहते हैं, तो आज नहीं कल जरूर वो पकड़े जाएंगे।
जो तथ्य है उन तथ्यों को भी मैं समझता हूं कि बेहतर तरीके से प्रस्तुत करके जो ओरिजिनलिटी है, जो उसमें जो तथ्य छिपे हुए हैं, उसका उजागर जरूर होना चाहिए।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed FICCI's 90th annual general meeting in Delhi on Wednesday. In his address, the Prime Minister praised his government's efforts to help poor people join the banking system with the Dhan Yojna. He said that it gives him great satisfaction that the poorer sections that had earlier faced hardships in getting bank accounts opened have been able to open bank accounts with zero balance under the Dhan Yojna. He also listed out several other poor initiatives of his government, like free cooking gas connections to women and affordable housing schemes.
हमारी सरकार ने लोगों की समस्याओं, उनकी आवश्यकताओं को ध्यान में रखते हुए अपनी योजनाएं बनाने का निरंतर प्रयास किया है। लोगों की जिंदगी आसान बने, ईज ऑफ लिविंग बढ़े, इस विजन को हमने प्राथमिकता दी है। गरीब महिलाओं को गैस के धुएं से मुक्ति मिले और इसलिए उज्ज्वला योजना शुरू की। हमने 3 करोड़ से ज्यादा महिलाओं को मुफ्त गैस कनेक्शन दिया। अब एक और स्टडी के सामने आया है कि इस योजना के बाद ग्रामीण इलाकों में फ्यूल इन्फ्लेशन में भी काफी मात्रा में गिरावट आई है। यानी गरीब को ईंधन के लिए अब कम पैसे खर्च करने पड़ रहे हैं। हम गरीब की एक एक आवश्यकता, एक एक समस्या को पकड़कर उसे सुलझाने के लिए एक के बाद एक कदम उठा रहे हैं।
The Prime Minister also attacked the previous Congress-led UPA government, saying that the non-performing assets or NPAs or the bad loans problem is a liability handed over by the previous regime.
इस दौरान कुछ बड़े-बड़े उद्योगपतियों को लाखों करोड़ों के लोन दिए गए, बैंकों पर दबाव डाल करके पैसा दिलवाया गया। ये आजकल नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट्स एनपीए का जो हल्ला मच रहा है, वो पहले की सरकार में बैठे अर्थशास्त्रियों की इस सरकार को दी गई सबसे बड़ी लायबिलिटी है।
The government has extended till further notice the December 31st deadline for mandatory quoting of Aadhaar and PAN for financial transactions like opening of a bank account. The deadline was withdrawn through a Gazette notification that was issued yesterday. This, in effect, means that the December 31st deadline for mandatory quoting of Aadhaar and PAN has been shelved for now and new dates are yet to be announced. This is also in line with the centre last week informing the Supreme Court that it is willing to extend the deadline till the 31st of March for the mandatory linking of Aadhaar to avail various services and welfare schemes. A 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court is expected to issue an interim order regarding a bunch of petitions that demand that Aadhaar linking not be made mandatory. The Apex Court will hear the pending positions on the 14th of December. And now let's get you all the updates from Gujarat. "93 constituencies in Gujarat will go to polls in the second phase on Thursday. The high-voltage campaign in the state ended on the 12th of December. The first phase of voting for the 182-member House was held on the 9th of December and covered 89 seats. The results will be declared on the 18th of December. The second phase of the high-stakes election, with the BJP making a bid for a 5th term and the Congress attempting an electoral revival, will be held on the 14th of December. Polling for the second and the last phase of Gujarat elections includes northern, central and the tribal areas. Of the 93 constituencies going to polls on Thursday, 52 were won by the BJP and 39 by the Congress in 2012. The second phase is crucial because North Gujarat was an epicenter of the Patidar reservation stir. The region, with 53 seats, has been a stronghold of the BJP, which won 32 seats in 2012, with Congress taking 21.
Of course, it is very crucial because North Gujarat has been the epicenter of the Patidar reservation agitation. And Congress hopes to do well this time. Last time they won 22 seats. This time they hope to increase their tally. So for Congress, the North Gujarat election is very crucial. For the BJP as well.
A total of 851 candidates are in the fray for the second phase, while 2.22 crore people are eligible to exercise their franchise. The smallest constituency is Daryapur and the largest is Radhanpur. By the size of the electorate, the smallest is Limkheda constituency with 1,87,245 electors and the largest is Ghatlodia with 3,52,316 electors.
जो हमें अच्छी जॉब दे सकता है, एजुकेशन दे सकता है, हम उन्हीं को वोट करेंगे।
तो क्या मुद्दा है इसके?
मुद्दा ये है कि बेरोजगारी हटाओ और ये इंडिया को आगे बढ़ाओ।
लड़कियां सुरक्षित रहे, अकेली आ जा सके, रात को भी ऐसे उनकी सुरक्षा होनी चाहिए। पढ़ाना लिखाना आगे बढ़ाना, लड़कियों को आगे बढ़ाओ।
The Election Commission had on Tuesday ordered re-polling in 6 booths where the first phase of polling was held on the 9th of December. These re-polls are also being held on Thursday. The presiding officers of these booths had forgotten to wipe out the mock drill poll results necessitating the election.
It was a high decibel campaign for the second phase of Gujarat polls as leaders from both Congress and BJP tried to woo the voters and addressed several rallies and public meetings. For the BJP, it is a battle of prestige as it seeks to keep its hegemony intact in the state, while the Congress has stitched up a broad social alliance to wrest the state from the BJP. It is now up to the voters to make or mar the electoral calculations of the contenders. Reporting from Ahmedabad, with camera person Yogesh Agarwal, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Now, in the wake of the EVM tampering allegations from various political parties, the Election Commission of Gujarat has put in place administrative safeguards and security protocols to prevent misuse of EVM and voter verifiable paper audit trail machines. Our correspondent spoke with the Chief Electoral Officer of Gujarat.
So there would be voter verifiable paper audit trails across polling booths?
So yes, we have sufficient numbers of VVPATs.
But during the first phase, sir, there were instances of faulty EVMs and even VVPATs for that matter. How do you plan to avert that situation now?
We have already instructed all the collectors to follow cluster methods, not just keep stocks with the sector offices, but use some clusters, particularly in very remote areas. In case of breakdown, they should reach quickly and get it replaced.
In the first phase, the voter turnout stood around 66.75%, which was lower than 2012 elections. How have you motivated the voters that they come out in large numbers and exercise their franchise?
This time the biggest challenge was VVPAT, because VVPAT was being introduced. Though numbers are important, but I would like to tell you that almost 19,000 expositions were actually done. Demonstrations, expositions, a lot of bands were on through many villages, many cities. We did things like distributing, VVPAT, information sheets to almost more than 1 crore people. Gave to students to carry these things to their parents, which numbers close to 80 lakhs. We have done a lot of work. When I say we, I mean the district officers, the taluk level officers, who have done a wonderful work. If you look at it, the sweep activities which have been carried out is phenomenal. Yes, we're definitely hoping for maybe to break the last time's record, but there is a gap of a few percentage. I still hope and I still wish that we cross last time's record.
So arrangements are in place. Thank you so much for talking to us. Reporting from Gandhinagar with camera person Yogesh Agarwal, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Away from that, on the 16th anniversary of the 2001 Parliament attack, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other parliamentarians paid tributes to the martyrs. 9 people were killed and 16 injured in the attack carried out by 5 heavily armed terrorists. There were about 100 members of parliament in the building at the time of the attack, but all of them escaped unhurt because of the courage displayed by the security forces.
Cutting across party lines, political leaders came together to pay homage to the martyrs of the 2001 Parliament attack in Parliament on Wednesday. Vice President and Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan, Congress President Sonia Gandhi and several ministers and politicians showered petals on the portraits of the brave hearts who were martyred in the attack 16 years ago. On December 13, 2001, 5 heavily armed gunmen stormed the Parliament complex and opened indiscriminate fire. 5 Delhi police personnel, a woman Central Reserve Police official, 2 Parliament watch and ward staff, a gardener and a camera person were among those who lost their lives in the attack. All 5 terrorists were shot dead. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
The Madhya Pradesh government on Wednesday approved a fund of 7,546 crore rupees for the Narmada Parvati River linking project. The project seeks to create irrigation facilities on 2 lakh hectares of agricultural land in Malwa region of the state. On Tuesday, the Narmada Control Board held a meeting chaired by Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan that approved the linking of the 2 rivers, Narmada and Parvati. The project is to be expected to be completed in 4 phases. Each phase is expected to irrigate at least 50,000 hectares. The river linking project will benefit farmers of 369 villages of Sehor and Sahajpur districts. The board also approved 41.41 crore rupees of a proposal to construct 92 Narmada Yatri Niwas buildings on the 1,100 kilometer long Narmada Parikrama route passing through 16 districts. Meanwhile, hopes of finding alive the 5 soldiers who went missing in Jammu and Kashmir on Tuesday are fast receding. Blizzard-like conditions are hampering search and rescue operations. 3 soldiers went missing after an avalanche hit their camp in Gurez sector in Bandipora district, and 2 others slipped down a mountain slope in Nogam sector of Kupwara district following heavy snowfall accompanied by rains. An army porter has also been missing since Monday after he came under an avalanche in Tulel in Gurez sector. With that, a look at what else made news across the country today in Nationwide. The death toll due to Cyclone Oki has risen to 58. Rescue operations are in full swing to trace the 96 missing fishermen. Meanwhile, Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said that the government will speed up relief and rehabilitation work. The Chief Minister also announced the financial assistance of 20 lakh rupees for families of the fishermen killed in the cyclone and 5 lakh for the injured. The CBI has taken over investigations of the 2 cases related to the alleged circulation of a fake sex CD allegedly involving a Chhattisgarh minister. The Raipur police had so far arrested senior journalist Vinod Verma for allegedly tarnishing the minister's image through the CD. The 2 cases are related to alleged possession and circulation of fake pornographic video and allegations of ransom demand. The Delhi High Court disposed of BJP leader Mukul Roy's plea alleging phone tapping. This comes after the centre and the West Bengal government said that Roy's numbers were not being intercepted. The Apex Court also gave liberty to Mukul Roy to approach it again if he finds any concrete evidence to support his allegations. The Uttar Pradesh government today approved the draft of the UP Control of Organised Crime Act. The draft of the proposed legislation has been prepared in consultation with the Law Department to combat land mafia, mining mafia and organised crimes in the state. The bill is expected to be introduced in the winter session of the state legislature that commences from tomorrow. The Jammu and Kashmir government on Wednesday decided to regularize the services of 60,000 daily wagers and casual labourers working in various departments. The decision is being seen as a major respite to the labourers who often went on strike with the demand for regularization, hampering government work in the state. The process to formulate a roadmap to regularize them was started this year, with the state government constituting a high-level committee for the purpose headed by Chief Secretary B.B. Vyas. With a quick break here, up next we'll get you the top international stories.
There has been a perception that the government was trying to defer the winter session of Parliament because of the Gujarat polls.
सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि हमको कैसा पार्लियामेंट का सेशन चाहिए, ऐसा जो वर्किंग हो या ऐसा जो नाम का हो.
एक और जो एक्यूजेशन ऑपोजिशन की तरफ से आया था that the government is trying to avoid the debate and discussion on crucial issues like these GST, sliding economy, demonetization.
ये आज से 20 साल पहले कहते रहे तो ज़्यादा अच्छा था.
मणिशंकर अय्यर जो है अभी एक रिमार्क प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी पर किया था, उसको आप काउंटर करेंगे या किसी तरीके का आप इस पर चर्चा चाहेंगे?
उसके ऊपर कांग्रेस ने उनको पार्टी से निलंबित भी कर दिया है, तो कांग्रेस ने एक तरह से ये माना है इस बात के लिए कि उनका जो रिमार्क था वो अच्छा नहीं था, खासतौर से प्राइम मिनिस्टर के लिए इस भाषा का प्रयोग करना.
Watch to the point with Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Vijay Goyal only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. International news. And U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has once again warned Pakistan to take action against terrorist groups. Speaking at an event in Washington, Tillerson said that Pakistan's relationship with the Afghanistan-based Haqqani network has to be altered. He also warned that the Pakistan political leaders will lose control of the country if they continue to provide safe havens to terrorists. Admitting that the U.S. and Pakistan relationship has deteriorated over the past decade, Tillerson also said that the U.S. is willing to share information for Pakistan to be successful in its fight against terrorism. Tillerson's warning comes just days after the White House issued a stern warning to Pakistan and asked Islamabad to re-arrest terrorist Hafiz Saeed. The US has also said that it is prepared to talk to North Korea if Pyongyang is willing to change course on its nuclear and missile programs. Speaking at the event in Washington, US Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said that the US cannot accept a nuclear-armed North Korea, but called on the two countries to begin a dialogue.
So we need the DPRK to come to the table for talks. We're ready to talk anytime they'd like to talk. But they have to come to the table, and they have to come to the table with a view that they do want to make a different choice. In the meantime, our military preparedness is strong. Because of the situation, the President has ordered our military planners to have a full range of contingencies available, and they are ready. As I've told people many times, I will continue our diplomatic efforts until the first bomb drops. I'm gonna be confident that we're gonna be successful.
On to sports now, and the second ODI match between India and Sri Lanka is underway at Mohali. Sri Lanka are at 195 for the loss of 7 wickets. Angelo Matthews is at the crease along with Akila Dhananjay. Earlier, India scored a massive 392 for the loss of 4 wickets. Opener Shikhar Dhawan scored 68 runs, while Shreyas Iyer made 88 off just 70 balls.
Human effort.
Well, skipper Rohit Sharma scored an unbeaten 208 with 13 fours and 123 sixes and became the only player to score 3 double centuries in ODIs. He also registered the second highest individual score by a captain in the 50-over format, second only to Virendra Sehwag, who scored 219 against West Indies in Indore in 2011.
He's decimated the opposition.
And here are some more updates from the world of sports in Sports Beat. PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth will start their campaign today for the season-ending the Dubai Super Series finals. The tournament features the top 8 shuttlers. Sindhu will face world number 9, Hibing Jiao of China, in her first women's singles match. The other 2 players in the Group A of women's singles event are world number 15, Sayaka Sato of Japan, and world number 2, Akane Yamaguchi of Japan. In the men's singles, Srikanth will face world number 1 Victor Axelsen of Denmark in his first match. Apart from Axelsen, Taiwan's Chiu Ten Chen and China's Shi Yuqi are in the Group B along with Srikanth. A goal in extra time by Everton gave Brazil's club Grêmio a 1-0 win over Pachuca of Mexico in the first semi-final of the FIFA World Cup in Al Ain, Abu Dhabi. Pachuca's forward, Franco Jara, shot a stunner in stoppage time but was cleared by Grêmio defender Bruno Cortes. With just 10 minutes remaining, Pachuca's midfielder Victor Guzman tried scoring a goal with a header but it was drifted just wide of the post. The decisive moment came 4 minutes into extra time when Everton cut in from the left and curled the ball past Pachuca's goalkeeper. Borussia Dortmund beat Mainz 2-0 to secure their first Bundesliga victory since September. After Mainz's Swat Serdar rattled the Dortmund crossbar after 6 minutes, Dortmund centre-back Proskatis Papatheropoulos fired in on the rebound after the ball bounced off the post from Omer Toprak's header in the 55th minute. Dortmund's second goal came when Shinji Kagawa shot a stunner from a pass by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in the 89th minute to seal the victory. The Football Federation unveiled the logo of the final of the UEFA Champions League in Kiev in Ukraine. The Federation also unveiled the cups for the tournament. It added a visual image of the Olympic National Sports Complex of Kiev in the logo, which is also the venue for the finals of the tournament. It will be held in May 2018. The primary colors for the logo are yellow and blue, which are also the main colors of the Ukrainian flag. That's it on the news at 6. Thanks for joining us.